Welcome to the November 28th, 2023 Meriwether County Board of Commissioners 6:00 p.m. meeting. We'll ask you this time to please silence your cell phones and any electronic devices you may have. Everybody do it, mine. And if you will, we'll stand for the invocation. Bill, I guess it's be your last time, but this time, yes, but we're going to let you do it tonight. Then invocation and pledge of flag.
Let's pray, please. Lord Father, we just come to you this evening, Lord, just thanking you for all the many blessings you bestowed on us, Lord. Thank you for the recent rains we have nourished us. We're on, Lord. I just pray that you be with each and every commissioner this evening, Lord, as they deliberate the business of the county, and public hearings and everything. These things I ask in Christ's name. Amen.
The United States of America, and to the Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we need to do here is to adopt the agenda. I think we have a amendment to the agenda.
Yes, sir. We on the agenda, because of the sequencing of how the ordinance is run, we're asking that you guys, under the public hearing, move item number 2 up to 1, and then move item 1 to number 2. That way, they'll work in sequences as you hear these. So we've asked that change to be made. Also, there's a request of whether or not the board would want to consider either tonight or at a later date or whatever road closure request on Weaver Road and on 7 Branches Road had been full board looked at good time before you had a chance to really hear it to after we get through it. So asking to put that on the agenda to see whether or not you guys want to set a public hearing. Of course, what has to be found is whether or not it ceased to serve the public purpose. And I know the staff has looked at Weaver Road, and we certainly recommend that be closed. 7 Branches, I personally haven't looked at, but we could. It's up to you guys. But the question tonight is whether you want to put it on this agenda to consider whether or not we set a public hearing, or you want to hold it to the next meeting, or whatever you guys want to do.
All right. Well, first of all, I have a motion to change the public hearing 1 and 2, reverse it, and 2 first, and then number 1 will be number 2. I got a motion to amend again.
I think we probably need to do them all at one time.
Yeah, come on. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you told them better. Okay, so I need a motion then to change the order of the ordinances 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. So reversing those 2, and then we'd add to the list. Number 8 would be to schedule a hearing on Weaver Road closures, and number 9 would be a hearing on 7 Branches Road closure. And we got a motion.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda with said changes.
What is item number 7? We went from 6 to 8 to 9.
I don't know what 7 is. It's only just consideration. This is under. I'm sorry. This is under new business. Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Right. It's under new business. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize we had 6 public hearings. It's going to be new business matters.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So we got a motion.
Second.
Okay. Second. All in favor? Okay. So we'll make those have those on the agenda. All right. So we have a motion to adopt the agenda. Oh, you had that? You said that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get it. I thought y'all took it. Just get 3 done first. So, all right. So have we got any presentations here tonight? Special presentations. Mr. Bill? Or John going to do the finance report? Next, John, finance report, please.
Vice Chairman and Commissioners, in front of you got the bank balance as of today. General funds at 2.15 million. All the rest of the bank balances are holding pretty strong. We're in good financial shape. The November loss SPOS and T-SPOS should be arriving in the bank account tomorrow. They should be real similar to these numbers that you see for last month.
And any commissioners have any questions? Thank you, Mr. Jones. We'll move on. All right, any department heads here tonight?
This department has two things to bring to your attention, Vice Chairman. We have received the Meriwether County IDA revenue bond has been paid and satisfied. That notice will be given to the county clerk to be filed. Also, the county has received a homestead tax relief from the state of Georgia. The general fund received $964,000 and the fire district received $164,852,000. All funds have been deposited in appropriate bank accounts.
Awesome. Good deal.
Is that reflected in the general fund
Yes, sir.
balance you just mentioned?
Yes, sir. General fund and the fire district.
Always represented in the paper we're looking at.
Yes, sir.
Anything else on that finance report? All right, now we'll move on to any department heads here tonight to say anything. All right. And then citizens' comments.
I do have one gentleman, Martinell, who had called in a couple of weeks ago to be added to the agenda. And I have his son, she was in call.
Does this, the whole paragraph need to be read for?
Yeah, if you'll just state his name, address for the record.
All right, we have Mr. Martin Neal, 1325 Finley Cato Road, Virginia, Georgia.
3 minutes, I think.
You're gonna get
Is for here.
3 minutes, but I need to read that paragraph.
Yeah.
Speakers must contact the county clerk or by phone or by email on or before the dates and times listed below in order to be placed on the agenda to speak. Speakers must provide their names, address, and the topic they wish to discuss. For the second Wednesday of the month is 9 o'clock meeting. Speakers must email or call before 5 p.m. on that day. And for the fourth Tuesday of the month, 6 o'clock p.m. meeting, speakers must email or call before 5 o'clock on the day of the scheduled meeting. Speakers must direct their remarks to the board and not to individual commissioners or to the audience. Personal disagreements with individual commissioners or county employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topic as they relate the matters pertinent to the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. No question will be asked by any of the commissioners during citizens' comment. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speaker will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the board votes to suspend this rule. Mr. Neal, you got 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. What has led me here today, I've emailed 6 times over the year about hazardous road conditions on Finley, Cato, Fern, Canopy, and Bone roads. Each time copying in a different person as I work my way up the chain of command. Would anybody like to guess how many responses I've had over those 6 emails? 0. Some are even sitting in this meeting. It wasn't until I called and requested to speak at this meeting that Mr. Blue called me. Thank you, Mr. Blue, for reaching out to me. At the last meeting, myself and 15 to 20 of our neighbors were here expressing our concerns on the road conditions that we live. Even though we, my neighbors, may not know each other by name, we were here united because of the road conditions we are made to travel each day. The hazardous road conditions are causing property damage and the possibility of causing personal injury. I have owned my land for over 30 years and purchased the land from my parents who owned it 10 years prior. I've been traveling these roads, some would say for a time. The roads have been deteriorating over the years, but have become hazardous over the past 2. These roads are being traveled more by families moving into the area. At least 8 new homes have been built and more are under construction. What was used to maintain the dirt roads for safe driving is no longer effective. Some sitting in this room have stated that the dirt roads are no longer effective. Gravel must be used. These same people in this room have stated to myself and to my neighbors that the county does not have the experienced personnel to oversee or to operate the equipment needed. I'm not sure what to believe. I am the general manager of a multi-million-dollar electrical company, and this I know to be true. A lack of knowledge and poor performance, sending employees into situations they cannot be successful, reflects bad leadership. We are expecting 2 inches of rain starting Friday and will be raining for 4 days. As it stands, we will not be able to leave our homes. I do have one other comment that there has been progress made. There was a little bit made 2 weeks ago, and then some more was made today, but it is definitely not taking care of our problems. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Commissioner. There's no other citizen comments.
No, sir, that's all.
All right, so we're going into the minutes. Is that what we need to make the correction?
Yes, sir. Need to make the corrections on this first time here. On October the 24th, 2023, we held some public hearings to talk about when AV could be used or RV could be used for during the construction of a house, et cetera. And you guys had approved, had already passed what was number 2023-004. And in that, it said it had to be a family member or the oldest. Y'all had already passed that. Then we went on to number 5, which was the next one. And in that one, we came back and said, okay, well, wait a minute, we don't want it to read this way. We want it to read that it could be or designated. And so you guys continued that public hearing because we needed to not vote on it because it was going to be in conflict with what we just voted on. So what we did was we come back and you guys asked us to re-advertise and hear that again, the number 4, and make that correction. So that is actually on your agenda tonight. The one that you moved from number 2 to number 1 will be a correction of that, which will give you what you guys wanted. And then, of course, number 5 is a continuation of that. And now you can vote on number 5 without having to be any conflict with number 4. And we needed to just have you agree to go back and change the minutes, and they're highlighted there for you in order that we could have those changes correct. So you'll see in the minutes it said, get to it here. We also had to add a proclamation for veterans hall in there as well. Anyway, the changes will be made because at one time we said to advertise the number 5 and to re-advertise that to correct the language. So with these now to say continue the public hearing on 2023-5 and to re-advertise for 2023-4 to correct the language. That's corrected the minutes because it read different from that. So with that correction, we recommend we're ready to move forward with the public hearings that we have tonight.
So we need to have a motion to
correct those to address those conflicts of those 2 ordinances.
Do we need to go ahead and do number 2 and do a motion for all at one time?
Okay, yes.
Can you read the number 2 there?
Number 2 is a proclamation for the Georgia Military Veterans Hall of Fame. And it inadvertently was left out of the minutes, but it was covered. So we added that back into the minutes as well. So we would recommend that you correct those minutes out of number 1 and out of number 2. And that will then correct your October 24, 2023 minutes to get them right to what the board actually was intended and what was actually reflected in the motions.
We have a motion.
I make a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections for the October 24th, 2023, to address items B1 and item number 2. As stated here. Is that sufficient?
Perfect.
Okay, that's my motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor? We're going on into public hearing.
No,
Going on the, item two, which would be our regular, approval of the minutes for the November 8th and the November 9th.
Oh, number 2 and 3, okay.
then I'll make a motion to accept the, November meeting, minutes as, presented.
Second.
Favor? And then on number 3, November the 9th, 2023, 10 o'clock a.m. special call meeting.
Make another motion to accept the November 9th special call meeting, 10 a.m. As presented. Minutes.
Second.
All in favor? No.
Thank you.
Now we'll go right on into public hearing. Sandra,
Good evening, everyone.
you're gonna read these, I don't have to read them, you'll read them, right?
Okay, I'll take care of it for you.
That sounds good. Made a motion to
Yeah.
reverse one and two.
All right, we are reversing 1 and 2. So the first one's going to be ordinance.
Excuse
You do need to make a motion to move into
Oh, yeah.
the public hearing.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
Before she.
All right, so we need a motion now to move into the public hearing.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
yeah, first.
And this is for ordinance number 2023-09, which is now the number 1 on your agenda.
Yes.
Correct.
All in favor? Okay,
Okay, so this is the number 1 that was number 2. Ordinance 2023-09. This was formerly the 2023-04 that was approved in the October meeting. This is one where we were putting RVs, allowing RVs to be lived in while people are building their homes. And the board has asked that we had changed it to say their designees rather than their immediate families. And because we had already adopted the 04, we now had to adopt a new ordinance, which is 09. Ms. Beverly? Yes, 09, to say their designees. And that's what this is for. So we now have 2023-09 to say their designees instead of
Immediate favor.
the immediate family.
any questions from the board? Do I have a motion to go ahead and accept it?
We need to ask if anyone of the audience wants to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry, we are in a public hearing.
Yes.
So is anybody in the audience that would like to speak on this ordinance number 1 that she just read off?
Yeah.
So we'll go in and out in each one of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I need a motion to go out of public hearing on this number 1 ordinance 2023-09.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? We are now out of the public hearing and, do I have a motion to accept this ordinance that we just discussed?
So moved.
Yeah, so move in a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor? It's good to go. So now we're gonna make a motion to go back into public hearing again,
Ordinance 2023-05.
for ordinance 2023-05.
This is a continuation, from the last meeting.
Correct.
Got a motion in a second?
I make a motion and somebody can second.
Right. So all in favor? All right, now we're back in the public hearing again.
All right, so this ordinance is the 2023-05, and this is the ordinance that we continued from our last meeting because we wanted to make sure that we corrected 04 to say their designees. And we also had to hold off on 5 because we were changing 4 and 5 reflects to 4. And this is so that we can say their designees and affirm that it's for the ones that they are designating to be able to live in an RV while a active building permit is in effect.
And do we have anyone from the audience who would like to comment or say anything on this ordinance? Is there anything from the commissioners they'd like to ask or that?
Mr. Chair, I do think that the revisions from your previous view of this also were fixing a couple of typos that were in the original as well.
Yeah, we're doing bust to must and Yeah, we did correct a typo on that one.
So just making sure y'all were aware of that as well. Just a couple of typos that had been in the original version.
Thank you, sir. So do we have a motion to accept the ordinance 2023-05? Oh, Adam. All right, got a motion from out of public. A while ago, we did three of them. Y'all go, let's do them all at one time. So I thought, all right, motion to come out of public hearing.
So move.
Second. All in favor? All right, we're out of public hearing. Now, somebody like to make a motion to accept this ordinance 2023-05.
So move.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Done. Okay, so that's gonna take us down to number 3. So we are gonna have a motion to go into public hearing.
For case 2023.
So we gotta read it, 2023-013.
David?
Yeah, make a motion.
Give the motion a second, please.
I make a motion. I thought somebody was gonna read it. I'm sorry. That's okay.
So she's doing the reading.
I'll read it.
So I'm just naming the ordinance and then we go in and then she'll read it out.
I made the motion.
Second? Second. Second, all in favor? All right, now we're in public hearing for case number 2023-013.
All right, case number 2023-013 is a request for special use of special use of 0.112 acres for the purpose of a private cemetery. The property is known as part of parcel 074021 off Alley Road and is owned by Daniel Dalkey. Sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. He is here to speak. The staff does recommend approval. The planning commission heard this. They recommend approval. The name of the cemetery would be called Lion Gate Cemetery, and Mr. Daniel is here to speak, and if you have any questions.
Good evening.
Any questions?
I don't. It's gonna be called what?
Lion Gate,
Lion Gate.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Dalkey.
It is already surveyed out, indicated on the survey.
It is.
Yes.
And you guys do have a copy of the survey in the packet.
Yeah, as we talked, if it's approved, I was gonna
Yep.
adjust it. It needs to be one direction to save some trees, but for the most part,
And
it's right there.
Private cemetery.
Yes.
And how many plots?
I don't have the plots figured out yet, but maybe 30 at the most.
Oh, that's a big family.
We have 6 kids.
Oh, wow. I don't blame them. I did it years ago. So,
Good deal.
any other questions? With that being said, we need a motion to go out of public. Or is there any other body else in the audience that has a comment? Hold on a second.
I can say this is in Cuba and does not reach Cuba.
Now, we'll have a motion to go out of the public hearing on case number 2023-013. Yeah.
I have a second.
All in favor? All right, we're now out of public hearing. We need a motion to allow the special use of the 1.112 acres for the purpose of a private cemetery. So moved. Second.
No, second.
We got a motion second, all in favor? There you go, sir.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Hope you don't have to use it for a long time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna need a motion to go into case number 2023-014. Request from David Ward to close Cartwright Road from Cove Road to Cartwright Offward Road, approximately 1,200 feet of road.
Make a motion second. So moved.
All in favor?
Who's the second? I'll second.
Oh, I thought you did. All right, we got,
We're all in.
we all in favor. So go ahead, Mr. Sanders.
Okay. Case number 2023-014 is request from David Ward to close Cartwright Road. He has petitioned and, he is here along with someone else who has signed up to speak as well. Cartwright Road is a little small cut through from Cartwright, Alfred Road to Cove Road. It has been heard, it was heard by the planning commission before we realized it didn't necessarily have to be, but they did recommend closure as well. They just asked that it be kept as a private, if it's kept as a private road by approval from you guys, that maybe the name can be stated as well on the sign that says Cartwright Road Private, because it was named Cartwright Road for a reason. I've talked to both the 911, Danny, and with Sheriff's Office. All of them all say that this is just a cut through and that they do not utilize this road, therefore it does not serve a public use. Mr. Ward is here and has signed up, and so has Ray. That gentleman.
Mr. Ward, you got something you want to tell the board?
Oh,
I don't have anything unless you have questions. It's just the ATV action and the trash dumping. And then people just, on the ATVs, they just ride down into my property, and it's just, I never know who I'll find, so.
I've seen it in the way the main road goes this way, this goes, it's just a little triangle cut through. It's not hindering anything up for anybody. You know, I mean, if I was on this road, I don't know why I'd go up here just to cut across there, but, so I kind of agree with you on that.
Mr. Ward, I know that, there was a petition that was turned in. Is this reflect all the owners of truck?
That's every landowner on Cartwright Road.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The other gentleman have anything or need to add, or?
I do. My name's Raymond Sarasa, and I live in 671 Alfred, which is down the far end of Alfred Road. So we use it heading the Woodbury direction daily, my family and I. So it does impact us, but it'd be a real stretch to think that that's a hardship. So all in all, I do support my neighbor and what he requests. I did want to take this opportunity, though, since the subject was up, to voice a concern similar to the first gentleman we heard this evening, and that is a concern over the water runoff on Alfred Road in several places it's significant. For example, the property in between Cartwright and Alfred, that water rushes off right onto Alfred, a road that's about to get more use. Because every time we turn onto Cartwright now, we're going to be going on to Alfred instead. So this road is going to get more use. As y'all know, we've had a very dry season, and it's still rutted out pretty well.
All right, well, right now, we need to focus just on what we're fixing to vote on, and we will take that into consideration.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
Make a note of that. Get Public Works.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Make a note to get Public Works to come and check that road.
Yeah, I'd sure appreciate it. And just request, I know this is a different subject, but if Public Works, I don't know if there is a plan, if paving is any kind of intention for the near term or for the future. It's just something I'd be curious about. And as Public Works, I guess, is someone I could chat with.
If you could give us a call, I'll be happy to talk to you about that. We have a T-Splosh program and all, and if you'll give us a call, we'll be glad to fill you in and give you the information.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.
is there anybody else in the audience that's here to forward or against or would like to say anything? Again, the commissioners have any questions.
Mr. Chair, before you close the public meeting, I just want to remind the board what the standard is for road closure. The state statute reads that the road must cease to be used by the public to the extent that no substantial public purpose is served by it, or that its removal from the county road system is otherwise in the best public interest. Okay. You do have 9 criteria under your ordinances that you're supposed to consider. Those include, do all the property owners who live on the property agree with the closure? It sounds like that has been the case.
Mm-hmm.
Does the road continue to serve a substantial public purpose, or is closure otherwise in the best public interest, which is consistent with the state statute? Does the closure of the roadway create a situation where any property owner other than the requesting party is limited to only one means of ingress or egress? I don't think we've heard anything on that today. Is the roadway commonly used as a shorter access route to other roadways? If so, does closure create an undue hardship on the traveling public? Does the course of the roadway impact the delivery of emergency services to the general public? Does cost of maintaining the road section exceed the amount of funding receiving from GDOT, LMIG, or other sources for maintenance of the road? Does the road abandonment prevent access to family cemeteries? If so, will an easement be provided? Meriwether County Meriwether County shall request input from Meriwether County Sheriff's Office, all public safety departments, E911 and Public Works, and consider any comments received from those departments in making the decision, and any additional information that may be important for the determination. So just keep those in mind as y'all make a decision.
Any other comments or concerns from the commission? All right, let me close this one out and then I'll pass it on to you. Any other comment from the commission on this here?
Well, if you close the road, can we leave the Cartwright name on the road?
As a private drive.
It still take Cartwright private.
They changed to like a blue sign.
And what about like access to emergency personnel?
As long as they maintain the road to pass through and get to their house, we'll be able to do it. And in keeping that sign up that says private will also help us in 911 too. And it also, with another road coming along, get made that. So we could do that.
Anything else? All right, do I have a motion then to go out of the public hearing for case number 2023-014 from David Ward requesting the closure of Cartwright Road?
So moved.
A second? Motion a second, all in favor? All right, we are now back in regular meeting and we need a motion from board here to proceed on closing this road.
I make the motion. Close Cartwright.
Second. Motion second, all in favor?
I'll abstain. I didn't hear them.
All right, that's taken care of that, and now I'm gonna step up and let the boss man sit for case 5 and 6. But thank you for bearing with me. I didn't have a chance to read over all this, got it.
I tried to call you. I left at 3:30.
You did what?
I left the Blue Georgia at 3:30 to try to get you.
Called several times along the way.
All right. Page, under public hearing number 5, case number 2023-015, request from Red Stinson to rezone parcel 003-007-01, 30.02 acres, and parcel 003-007-004, 23.93 acres from NCH to A1. Do I have a motion to go into public hearing for case number 2023-015? Do I have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor. We are in public hearing for case number 2023-015 at 6:32.
Okay, so this case here is where Mr. Stinson has bought these 2 parcels of land. And right now they are zoned neighborhood commercial. He owns all the property around it. He wants to have it zoned to agricultural use because he does not plan on using it as a commercial use. It went before the planning board last week and they all agreed with recommendation for approval or rezoning to A1. He does plan on just maybe eventually just doing some personal type garden or fruit trees, but he, and put it under CUVA. But right now, his biggest thing is he would like to zone it to A1 for agricultural use.
Any commissioners have any questions? Anyone from the public like to speak?
He is here, Mr. Stinson.
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't have anything to add.
All right. Any commissioners have any questions? All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to go out of public hearing case number 2023-015? Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. We are back in regular session for case number 2023-015. Do I have a motion from the board?
I make a motion to accept a request from Mr. Stinson to rezone to A1.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. All right, next item under public hearing, item number 6, case number 2023-016, Oak Grove request a waiver for the number of dogs she can keep in her kennel and breed. The property is located 6801 Lucasville Road, known as parcel 118-020-0024,
12 acres and owned by Joseph and Hope Grubbs. Do I have a motion to go into public hearing, case number 2023016?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. We are in public hearing, case number 2023016 at 6:34.
Okay, this case here is, Ms. Grubbs has brought in a waiver asking for the number of dogs that she can have in her kennel and on her property to breed from right now 5 to 20. She had come before you guys a couple of years ago, having it rezoned to agricultural use to allow for the kennel. The kennel was built. I do have a letter from George under his recommendations. He says here, this total of 86 acres, not just 12, she has 86 acres. The kennel itself is built on a parcel of 12 acres. Is 86 acres surrounding it. It is under conservation use. Is the reason the 12 acres is cut out. The building in which the kennels and the breeding are conducted is a total of 11 kennels with outdoor runs. The kennels can be used to board up to 20 dogs at a time and is licensed to do so by the Georgia Department of Agriculture. The breeding being conducted at this facility is 4 to 5 litters a year. The business also imports 3 litters a year from outside sources for sale, and it's also licensed by the Department of Agriculture since 2020. The facility has been extremely clean and well maintained. He's never had any issues with the facility at all. The dogs present appear to be free of any kind of illness and has been taken care of very well. To this date, there have been no reported violations to the animal services in Meriwether County. Dealer's license is currently listed as That's My Doodle or That's My Puppy. The boarding facility is listed as Canine Lodge. George says he does believe with all that has been documented and considered and is considering the isolation of the location that there should be no reason or any issues with either the Meriwether County business license or the increase of number of dogs. His recommendation is for approval.
All right, so I do have a question. Going from 5 to 20?
No, that is not correct.
Okay.
I was under the assumption that I was already approved up to 20. I've been doing business for 3 years, thinking that that was the case until this year, where I couldn't get my license renewed.
Okay.
So I've been trying to do this for a year. So I'm going to build a new kennel. So I want to get approval. I've already gotten it through the Department of Ag to go up to 40 dogs. So 20 to 40 is what I'm wanting approval for today. So currently I keep up to 20. And it's been great. It's been fun. So I want to build another kennel.
So 20 to 40 dogs, not all of those are breedable. Some of those.
No,
Some are to kennel.
I have 3 moms.
Okay.
I've only had 3 litters of dogs this year. It's for kennel. I'm needing an exception for the kennel, not for breeding dogs.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys have not approved for either. The approval that you guys did back 2 years ago was for the allowance to the rezone. And in our ordinance, it states that you have to have a waiver for the number of dogs that she can have on the property. And that waiver has never been issued to her. She was under the assumption that the rezoning that she got the waiver, but in the minutes, there's no waiver.
And the state has given you the approval for the 20 to 40? Or the
Yes.
40?
Yeah.
Right now,
You got
she has.
documentation of it?
I know.
And
It's a boarding kennel, not a, does that make sense? Yeah.
No one's been out there. I wish you would have brought pictures of the places. In fact,
I know.
I played a hotel, but not excited.
Understand that that's indoor and outdoor.
Yeah,
So,
even though the
we're
outdoor
just trying to-
areas, it's got concrete going around, they'll keep grass in the middle, you know, I mean, it's immaculate. I'd love to see a lot more facilities. Works like you.
where's the kennel license?
We don't have one since 40.
He asked if she had approval from the state to go from 20 to 40. She said yes.
So all I have to do to do that is ask, I'm looking for the letter for that.
A letter from us, right?
No, where I talked to the Department of Ag, because all it is paying more money to go up to 40 dogs. It's not like I don't go over 20 dogs now, so I don't need that license. Does that make sense? So my license is up to 20, but to go from 20 to 40, you pay $100 more.
Mr. Plant, you have a copy of the board? There's, y'all show it to me, I don't have a copy of it.
No license. We have to improve
So to,
what you have.
when
Right now. So you build another facility.
But you said you have a letter from the state?
I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if the board is inclined to grant the request, they can ask as a condition for the special use or the increase of the special use to have a approval from the state before allowing it.
Yeah.
So if that helps.
I mean, I could get on my phone and go and increase it and pay the fee right now to go to, I didn't want to go to 20 to 40 until I had approval with y'all, because there's no point in me paying for it if I'm not going to build a new building. So, but I can pay for it and do it if I need to do it. I have no problem.
No, it just helps if it's already documented, then that helps with what we were looking at. That's the only reason why I asked.
Okay.
But I understand you didn't want to pay the additional fee cost for that until we said yay or nay.
Right.
Look like the attorney said, if we do move forward and make a motion on it, let's put it based on her providing that
Right
before the license issues.
Yeah, I would have to have approval, I mean, to do it through the Department of Ag and y'all to be able to go up to 40 dogs. I couldn't do it with just one or the other.
Exactly.
Does this request have any contradictory or conflict to the previous request from the previous year?
There's the previous request, that's what he was showing me, but that was a different size area, plus not through the Department of Ag as far as kennel like that.
And also she was breeding dogs.
She was breeding dogs.
Yeah. I want to make sure we're being consistent. That's what we don't have a photographic memory, remember everything that we did in that. Make sure what we did there is consistent with what we may be about to do here. That was an 8-acre class.
The kennel license, and it's up to 20.
Right. It said 40, and I was saying it's in there, and it's not 40. Yeah. That's why I was asking you to have it.
Right. She was looking for the letter from the state for the 40.
Right.
Any other questions from the commission?
Now, she also does breed and does have other dogs there, so it's not gonna be just,
Right. She said she has 3 females that she breeds.
Right.
so we can be up to.
Any other commission?
8 acres first. About 86.
And if y'all wanted to be consistent with the amount of breeding dogs, that's another condition that y'all could allow, if you, for instance, with that.
Your request is to increase your kennel.
Kennel, yes,
the-
to keep, not for,
Yeah,
nothing to
she
do
got
with breeding.
licenses here, so-
Correct, and I have 2 different licenses for that.
Right. All right, so
I know you, excuse.
that's all right.
I know you mentioned like 80-some acres. This is on 12 acres cut out.
Of 100 acres.
What's the closest property line to this 12 to other houses or?
Goodness.
Probably Alberton Road would be the closest. I don't know how, right here.
Oh, God.
I mean, you can't see anything.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the distance,
Yeah, she's not,
the distance off the line and all that we require, she's bigger than that.
oh yeah.
Okay.
This is the problem.
What's the plan? That's somebody's property, right? How far is she off that line? It's not, obviously no one's here, I think.
That's just all pasture. The house is like
Okay.
a mile to the right, I think. Yeah.
Any other commission? Anyone from the audience who would like to speak? Hearing none, do I have a motion to go out of public hearing for case number 2023-016? Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We are in regular session. What's the pleasure of the board in case number 2023-016?
That's in my district or what?
Y'all may split it.
It's Gene's district.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to, agree to what she's requesting,
Contingent upon receipt.
contingent on you providing information to Cassandra. The letter, whatever you're looking for.
Right, once you get the license, then bring that back and it will be in effect if we pass it here, okay?
Okay.
So do I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is appointment. Doesn't look like we have any, no unfinished business. New business, item number 1, set public hearing to consider amending chapter 8 of the Code of Ordinances of Meriwether County, Georgia to amend Article 4, Recreation Advisory Board to create a more manageable membership for the other purposes.
Commissioners, you guys had asked about this, previously. Right now we have a 9-member board, and getting that board together and having a quorum is sometimes problematic. And so, you guys asked if we consider making an amendment to that to, create it as a 5-member board. And what we're asking tonight is if the board's ready to move forward with that, we would ask that you set a public hearing to be able to have, that brought back to you for, consideration. And, that meeting has to be within, 15 to 45 days. And so we're looking at the last meeting in December, which is the December 26th, if you guys are going to hold that meeting this year. So that's what we would recommend that we do that. And we'll get the advertisements in and get you guys to change the ordinance information.
Any comments from the board?
I don't think we should hold any public hearing on December 26th, with as much travel and things that people are thinking about that doing, there may be people not able to come and speak. So I wouldn't recommend doing it on the 26th, maybe the first one in January.
We could do that.
If you're trying to fit a time frame, you can continue the action for today, or you can table it, and then you can consider it at your next meeting, and that
Yeah, if we do it.
that can set it at
That'll
the
give out the 45
correct.
days into January.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next meeting is going to be what, December the 13th? Yeah. And that's why I asked if you guys are going to have that meeting, because I know that sometimes in the past we've not held that last meeting of the year, but sometimes.
I've always been for it, but a lot of people will go out of town, so.
So we can set it for any time you guys want to have it. That was just for the next meeting.
I think we should have our meeting. Understanding the public hearing, public people coming to comment on the public hearings we do.
Right.
Maybe
We're
we
out
have
here
the
because they're traveling with families that have family visit, and I think it's a bad time to set a public hearing.
You want to set it at the
Day
last
after the
meeting in
meeting.
January?
Yes.
Okay.
That
We
would
do
be
that.
my recommendation.
And we can just advertise it, where the advertisement is 15:45.
Yes, or if it has to be if it has to be held within the time that you set the meeting, then you can table it for today and you can hear it at your next meeting or the meeting after, and then you can set it at that point in time.
Yeah, well, we can do that. That might be simpler.
Yeah.
Just to table it for today and bring it over at your next meeting, and then we'll set it for that January.
So do I have a motion to continue item number 1 under new business to set the public hearing to the 13th of January, 2024 meeting? Do I have a
To
second?
table it to the,
Continue, say continue.
not to set the meeting, but to table the meeting too,
You
right?
said continue a minute ago.
Or table, I'm just clarifying, you're not setting the public hearing
No, so
for.
continue item
Okay.
number 1 to the next meeting.
Fair.
Do I have a motion? Do we have a second? Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Gotcha.
Okay. Make the motion.
He did. Adam. Item number 2 under new business, consideration of intergovernmental agreement between Meriwether County and the city of Woodbury. Request Meriwether County provide development plan review and inspection service.
And we've got 3 cities that are interested in this. I know Woodbury really wants to move forward with it, but we have all 3 of them. But General Knight and said if you will cover that.
Okay, so the first one is with the city of Woodbury. They currently do not have anyone to do their permitting for them, and they have contacted us and asked if we would consider doing their permitting. That would be doing their plan reviews, and we would actually they would come to our department or do our cloud permits online, and we would actually do everything for them but code enforcement. They have their own code enforcement officer. We would receive all fees. They would not receive any fees, because we would receive all fees in accordance to what we charge. We have been doing that with a couple other cities, and Woodbury would actually be new for us.
So you would do development plan review
We'll do the planning and zoning
and inspection.
inspections, yes. And we collect all the fees. They do not get reimbursed for any of it.
What was that, Mr. Kim?
They gotta follow our subdivision ordinance and other requirements where we're not trying to inspect something to wood, something else specific.
So would this be contingent upon them adopting our ordinance?
This,
If they have to follow ours in order for us to.
The way can I make a little comment on that one too? Because Luthersville's one on that's has also asked for us to renewal. We do Luthersville, Lone Oak, and Greenville right now. And they have their own ordinances, and we go by their ordinances when it comes to the size of houses and their setbacks. We use the city's ordinances for them for that, because they do allow, because they have city water, city sewer, and all, they do help allow for smaller lot sizes and houses. But when it comes to the subdivision regulations, would have to go to their planning commission for their approval on that.
part of the document does say the city shall follow current county subdivision.
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, I understand that some of the lots and things inside the cities are small and they're gonna have those different setbacks and things like
You're right.
that. But if we're gonna continue as a county across the board to start doing more and more services within the cities that the cities are going to provide, I think it's going to be a little cumbersome if we don't start pushing and having them to adopt our ordinances in order to be able to do these services. If not, I think it's gonna be a little cluster.
It's some of our ordinances, if we have smaller lots, they actually have different setbacks than larger lots too. So we already have taken that into account, and we don't generally allow as small as the city would do. Right. Yeah. This is for 1 year. I mean, I think if there's any issues with it or concerns, it's what year that year, we could certainly do to correct that if we need
My
to.
year experience, it's really not the same from the city to the county.
Right.
Well, I mean, most of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of it's gonna have a very,
Mhm.
and you said they got their own planning.
No, they do not. We would do the planning for them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they'll have water and sewer when we generally don't have those.
They can do half acre lot.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right. And I would have to, when I get a permit, I give them a copy of it. So they do know. And if there's a question, I always contact the mayor before I approve anything. I always contact the mayor to let them know. It's worked out very well with Greenville and Luthersville so far.
Any commissioners have any questions?
When they gonna build a house and they got a permit fee, who gets a permit fee then?
The county. County, because we do all the
Do
inspections
the work,
and
we get-
all the work.
And also a fee for development review and anything else.
Yes.
And they're already using our inspectors that we're using now, so we'll just make them on the right?
By adding Woodbury, do we foresee any increase in expenses or staff to take on Woodbury?
No, I went to Woodbury today to look at the open permits and all, and there was one. Since the first of the year, I think they've issued 7 permits. Not houses, but that could be an electrical permit, remodel permit. I think one of them was commercial electrical permits. So they're not doing a lot of building in the Woodbury, but they do plan on, making, some changes and stuff.
But it'd be nice to get the additional revenue,
Right.
and you
Right.
have to inform it, but not at the expense is higher than the revenue generated in it.
Right, and, and it's a good rapport between us and the cities as well.
Any other commissioners? All right, hearing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to, move forward with NFL money from the city of Woodbury
For 1 year term?
for 1 year term.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 3, consideration of intergovernmental agreement between Meriwether County and the city of Greenville request Meriwether County provide development plan, review, and inspection services. Is that also permitted?
This is a renewal for them. We haven't, theirs actually was supposed to automatically renewal every year, and for some reason, it just kind of has slipped through the pages and a new one hasn't been signed. We also do City of Greenville's code enforcement for them.
So is that a renewal as well for code enforcement?
Yes.
I make a motion to, accept the component agreement.
Can I ask a few questions? Yes. I think, so in the past 12 months, has there been any issues between the county and Greenville?
No, there has not. Matter of fact, I think our connection with the City of Greenville has actually gotten very strong. And the communication between us and them has really increased.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carried. All right, item number 4, consideration of intergovernmental agreements between Meriwether County and the City of Luthersville. Request Meriwether County to provide development plan review and inspection services.
Okay, this one here is another renewal, except for the fact they are asking that we do their code enforcement for them. They do not have a code enforcement officer. They have very few problems with code, but every now and then, there are like the house that might have trash in the yard or inoperable car or something. It is, like I said, it's the renewal. We have had a very good rapport with Mayor Cuddy, and I'm hoping with the new mayor as well. And I'm just asking that you also approve the continuation with this, adding in the code enforcement.
There's probably been quite a few permits in that area.
Yes. And we have issued all of theirs.
Go
You
ahead.
say they want to add our code enforcement?
Yes.
Citations, Luthersville going to collect it or?
No, we do.
And the same questions I've been having, so it's been a smooth operation in prior 12 months.
This has been very smooth with them. The developers who's been building there, JB Communities and a couple others that have been building in the city of Luthersville, have worked very well with us and us with them. And we have not had the first problem. We do follow, I think Luthersville's minimum house size is a little different than ours. But
it's any, with the growth there or the history from the last 12 months, and that end of the county seems to be growing faster than anywhere. Foreseeable need for increasing the staff that would.
Not right now, no. The city itself, I think, is kind of grown itself out as far as lots go within the city. So now it's just going to be more of a maintain and probably remodel or smaller electrical type.
Same.
Yes.
No increase there.
No increase there either.
Most of the development's going to occur probably right outside the city.
Any other commissions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve for the renewal and add code enforcement for the city of Luthersville? So I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item number 5 under new business, discussion of bids for Beulah Evans Road.
Chairman, Commissioners, this has been a long time coming, a lot of work on this road. This is one of the first roads we identified in T-Splosh for paving. There's probably 60, 70 plus houses there that go off of paved subdivision streets onto this road. We have acquired all the necessary right of way, thanks to some of the citizens out there for their hard work in that matter. And we have got everything in place. We have got a call forward and shot all the elevations, and we have everything ready to go. We put this out to bid, and we had 3 responsive bidders. And you guys remember I said it'll go from $1.5 to $2 million, and you can see where we are with it. And our low bid is Piedmont Paving at $1,438,513.80. And this will transform the road from a gravel road, dirt road, into a 20-foot paved roadway with new ditches, drainage structures, grading. There's also a hairpin curve there that we will take out as part of this. And of course, we have included this in our budgeting for T-Splosh, and staff recommends certainly approval and the contract to PPI.
Any commissioners have any questions? Do we have Do we need to go ahead and vote on it? Okay, because it just says discussion of bids.
Right, yeah.
So do I have a motion to accept the recommendation for Piedmont paving for Beulah Evans Road in the amount of $1,438,513.80 with the money to come from T-Splosh?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Your road to be paved.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
That's what I- Happy New Year and don't come back.
Boy, thank y'all. That's
All right.
a lot of work.
Next, item number 6, purchase of used tandem dump truck for public works.
Chairman Commissioners, we've been looking for a tandem belt truck. We have a lot of equipment, but some of it's not in service. And, we were looking around and we found vehicles that were, high mileage vehicles. They were like 128, 149,000, whatever. We come across one, and it is a 2020 International Tandem. Only has like less than 42,000 miles on it, and they are willing to take $140,000 for it. The mechanics have checked it out. It's in great shape, and that's a really, really good bike. And it's in excellent condition. I think it came from Pennsylvania somewhere. We've also checked to make sure it didn't have any salt damage and rust or anything. And we would recommend that. That's going to be kind of critical in our road programs going forward. And we recommend that we purchase that again from T-Splosh because it would really be used on the road roads. And we do have the funding to be able to secure that truck.
And we need that truck, we can grab one, or
We do.
we have a driver for it.
We got a driver, and we'll have people there. We may need to add some more people, some more drivers. If we get a driver a lot quicker, we get a truck. So we need to go ahead and, especially this truck, this is a really, really good
You
truck.
say you're buying it, don't
Or driving it for us. Yes.
Any commissioners have any comments, questions, concerns, anything to add? Hearing none, do I have a motion or the recommendation to purchase the 2020 truck with the less than 42,000 miles in the amount of $140,000 for the money to come from T-Splosh?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Gene made the motion, the other 3 seconded.
Yes, they call me, go, we get grab them, and go, we got a truck.
We got a truck. Just so out there. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right. Item number 7, consideration of T-Splosh continuation and alcohol sales for placement on the 2024 ballot.
Sure, Commissioners, we, as we were looking through and planning for the upcoming year, noticed that our T-Splosh will expire in March of 2025. Okay. And that's been a program that brings dollars. You guys will see tonight what it does and what it brings to the table. And so we need to consider about getting that on the 2024 ballot for consideration. And we also had a request for alcohol sales by package to be placed on the 2024 ballot as well.
We actually had that discussion earlier this year and voted on it. They were going to get it ready. We're just actually voting on to put it on 2024.
Right.
Ballot.
And what you're doing with that is this. There's 2 opportunities. One is March and one is May. And what I would recommend is that we do March on the alcohol.
That's presidential.
And then, it's presidential preference primary. And then we do May on the T-Splosh. And that will allow us to put together a T-Splosh program to maybe make a showing out of what we want to do. We can talk about receiving at the first of the year and work toward approval of continuation of T-Splosh. So with that, we're on a very short time frame of getting on the March. We need to have that, honestly, we need to try to have that in the advertisement by Monday, this coming week, in order to get it into Patty will have time to be able to get it on the digest. It's got to be published by December 7th. We only have a one, paper really works a week. So we think we can get it there Monday. She says the code, Michael would know this much better than me. The code language is very clear, and it's very concise on what we need to do, and how the language should read. I talked to her about criteria Because I know we don't want to just have it just free open where everybody have one. We'll need to put together some criteria, but she indicated she did not include, and Michael have to tell us, that we could go back after the fact. It doesn't have to be in the language. But we could go back afterwards and set criteria on zoning, building size, and whatever else you guys wanted to do. But the real critical issue is if we want to move forward, we want to get it on March, we got to move like ASAP to that.
With regard to the criteria, he's right. What you would do is you'd adopt an ordinance after the resolution, or sorry, after the referendum, the vote on the referendum. You can adopt the ordinance and it can have the specifics in it. Okay. Now, with regard to the first part, it does require a resolution. I don't think y'all passed a resolution previously because y'all had discussed putting it in the November calendar and joining up with the school board. And I don't think the school board wanted to potentially jeopardize their e-splost. And so y'all decided not to pass a referendum. So we would have to have a referendum drafted and voted on by this board in order to.
From my understanding, Nathan was we voted on that. He was gonna get it all ready and I was told it was ready. Only reason it didn't get submitted to Patty is because the school board asked us not to do it until first of the year. So it should be ready to go.
I think the language is certainly there. Would there be a way we could do it?
I drafted one for the November when it was first discussed. I don't know. I mean, I'm not at every board meeting. So if it was at a morning board meeting that y'all discussed it, it may not have been communicated to me.
So in order to get this for Monday, the Patty, there's no way we can do the referendum vote on it.
I don't have a draft. I'm not aware of Nathan having a draft resolution for.
Would there be a way that we could have, because you said you did the November.
I did a November previously because I went back to look to see what I had done when y'all first brought it up.
Would there be a way that the board could instruct the attorney to move forward with making that resolution that was originally proposed in November?
Change
the dates on it. And then make it approval contingent upon final review by.
You could move to have the resolution as drafted, consistent with changing the dates to be consistent with the election code. For purposes of yes, you can make that motion.
That way
that would make sense.
And I can
why would we change anything else?
And I can let you see the draft. For instance, the publication. There were some left open spots anyway because we didn't know when a publication date, et cetera, would be. But I can let y'all see the draft that I originally did.
So how about the T-splosh?
T-splosh would I would recommend that in May.
That requires a referendum too, right?
And that would probably come in mid-February. I think.
So we could do that in February.
We can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so
y'all have more time.
So no need to vote on the T-splosh.
No.
Table that until November or continue.
So you can do that in February, you go on May, that's 2 months out. So you have to do this one now, December, February for March.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah, and I didn't get this information. I would share it, Michael. I didn't get it till right before we walked in the room here today. And so that's why it's kind of I was thinking it was 13th. 13th is the day, but she's got to have it before then, advertised and have her board meeting, et cetera. So that's why we're in such a hurry. But T-splosh is not, just if we can physically say, hey, we'd like to do that in May, we'll prepare everything to have it ready to vote.
Okay. Any commissioners have any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to allow for the alcohol sales to be for the March 2024 primary and the resolution as drafted in November, consistent with changes of dates for the election to match for March 2024. Is that okay, Michael?
That sounded good to me.
I don't know what you think, Brian. So do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Second part of what's on the agenda, do I have a motion to continue the T-splosh recommendation until our first meeting in February of 2024? So do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Item number 8. Oh, okay. Hope y'all got to go.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, for the record, I will allow the clerk to have a copy of this so that, and we just
So it'll
reflect.
match up.
That's right. We'll just reflect, the dates will be changed. Everything else.
Sounds good. Thank you. Item number 8, set public hearing to hear request for closure of a section of Weaver Park or Weaver Road.
We have received an application from property owner and signed by surrounding property owners in reference to the portion of Weaver Road that Darren had talked about with you guys earlier. It's part of the road that is not accessible from at the railroad track. It's a very short portion, I think only about 1,100 feet, if that, 1,000 feet.
It's grown up.
And so there's a petition now and application and payment made for the closure of this road. I didn't need to set dates so I can put out my advertising.
But road closures don't come before your board.
No, I need to set the date.
We clarified that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to set a date so I can advertise it. It does come before before me.
And again, if you guys want to do that, in January, probably need to do the same with this one like we did with the other, just continue it. Otherwise, it'll fall into that December 26th.
Any commissioners have any questions?
This is in my district, and I've been over there, somebody here in the county actually closed it several years ago. There's a sign up in a tree growed up that says road closed as a county sign. And the railroad people took all that, you can't even cross it anymore. So there's only 3 homeowners, one at the front and then 2 that have all that road frontage going down, Weaver Park. This is Weaver Road. So as long as we're clarifying that, it's just a section from road track to Beaver Lake.
Right.
Not Weaver Park, but Weaver Park's actually on the other side.
Right, it's the way from Beaver Lake to the railroad track. I mean, is that right?
It comes out Beaver Lake.
Yeah, in the railroad track, that little section that was.
It went across the railroad track with time to turn around and come back in, but that railroad has been, that I was crossing.
You can't even see there's a road there now.
Until we graded the track out, when we were trying to get people out through the flood, we grown up and pine trees on the hill.
So this is like that again now. So, you know, all 3 homeowners are wanting. I mean, there's no, you can't even go down.
And what you guys would be doing is setting a public hearing to hear and determine whether or not that road has ceased to serve a public purpose.
I remember.
See these 2 guys own all this land, and they've got all that on Weaver Park.
Right.
Weaver Park Road. All this right here, and they go all the way to here. So they can still, once this is closed out, he can still drive in right there and use it because it's his own private drive. Then, you know, what to the center of the road or whatever works out. You can see.
Generally, what happens is over on one side of it considered and the other side of it's considered, so they'll have.
Any other commissioners? Hearing none, do I have a motion to continue the request to set a public hearing for our meeting in January 13th of 2024? To continue this until that point to set the public hearing. Do I have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 9, set public hearing to hear request for closure of 7 Branches Road.
Commissioner, just came before you guys, one time before here recently. Years ago, and they went through it. Yeah, they went through it. And so it never came back before the board for hearing, but now they're asking that it be put back over for consideration of hearing. And again, this falls into the same thing with the dates and times. And if you want to consider this, you want to continue it till the first meeting in December, then we can set the public hearing.
But this is in my district, and at a minimum, I request we could table it until that time, but I'm in favor of not even putting it into a public hearing. Last time this came up, I was bombarded with citizens from the area, from neighboring counties, the economic ecotourism value of that road to the community of Warm Springs, Pine Mountain area. I don't see where it does the county any favors. Will hinder the county's economic status by closing that road.
And I think, Michael, correctly, I believe that you guys to consider that as to whether or not we're hold a public hearing.
I don't know if it has to be.
I don't
I'm not in favor of it.
Yeah, no, that's how it reads. It says when the county determines that a road system has for any reason ceased to, have a substantial public purpose, then, y'all can close that road and then you have to follow the advertising, et cetera, but.
You make the motion, I'll make the second, why they do a public hearing.
I'll make a motion, we not even do a public hearing to consider the closure of Seven Branches Road.
Motion, I'll second it, all in favor? Motion carries, no public hearing.
That last one was, that's to have the public hearing in January, right? Not, it's not set.
Right,
Yeah, public hearing.
All right, next item is report from the county administrator.
Ooh, yes, sir. Thank you. Let me see what I got here tonight. The roof project at the jail is underway. I talked to the guy today. It should be completed hopefully by the end of next week, weather permitting. We had one issue we got to address with the framing of a section of one of the air handlers up there where it doesn't cause problems, and then we should be ready to roll. Been working on some topics and information for work sessions, which will be upcoming. Dealt with a lot of personnel issues. The mood has been full. And we worked on and developed a pay delivery chart that I've shared with you guys just as a start to some of our further discussions. We worked on some new ordinances and we'll be presenting those to you guys in the future. One of them will be utility permits. And we'll have the 2024 big on your next agenda for y'all's consideration. We'll try to get those words out and send them to you between now and then. But we need to go ahead and try to move that forward to get that application made to the state before they get that far. We get about $800,000. Yeah. So I have a lot of executive session tonight, and I apologize, but
We're probably gonna add some in a minute.
okay.
Any commissioners have any questions? Mr. Gavin?
I do. We've been talking in the last several meetings about setting up that planning meeting.
Yes, sir.
When can we put that on the agenda? When can we get that date set? I mean,
We've been working on this for us to try to get it there. There's really going to be probably 3 that I would recommend we have. I would recommend we have one on roads. And I would recommend we have one on other projects because there's things other than roads. And then I would recommend we have one on personnel and employee retention. And I don't believe it says we try to get those dates together. And we need once you guys set it, we need a few days to be able to put the program together. But
so how do we go about setting that? I mean, can we do it now or do we put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
Yeah, send me that piece of paper. 2 days from here.
Yeah. 12, can we set the meetings now or do we put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
As long as it doesn't have to 45 days, that's very much.
Yeah. So we can advertise for it.
So the dates, the proposed dates is a Thursday and a Friday, 12/7 at 5:30, and then 12/8, 3:30 or after because of work schedules. And I was just going to see what the commission would like to do.
I'll be in Vegas, so I won't make it.
Okay.
and I think I'm gonna have a conflict on those days too.
All right.
I went on 12/8, but 12/7.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will email you guys to get some date ranges from you that work. And if you will tell me which week, well, let me just get some date ranges from you and I'll pick the closest one that I can get.
Can we send that email this week?
Yes.
We talked about that in the last meeting too.
Yes, sir.
I think it would be good if we could set this sometime the week of the 11th of December. At least one, it gets started, or maybe even the week of the 18th, whatever works for you guys. Cause,
I can do it 11th, 12th, 13th, but I fly out on the 14th.
we've got a meeting with 13th. We could do it afterwards.
You know, be on 13.
Yeah, I'm just taking a family to France in Missouri for Christmas.
You mind, buddy?
I'm going with it. So
possibly the 13th after our morning meeting.
would that work?
Oh, we have a morning meeting then?
Yes, sir.
Why not?
Y'all okay with this?
Okay, good. And,
Good, no email, set.
Yeah, it's all done at once, too.
Yes.
Just put a short agenda for that day.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So it's short, they're good. Yeah, all right. That works good. That gives us some time to shoot for our projects together, so. All right, sounds good to me.
That was added to it.
That would not at all three. All three of them.
I will set the next one in that one and then set one. Yeah, and that's what I think would be.
Y'all want to start out by talking about roads?
Yeah. How do you think those are?
I think that would be, I'd like to have that planned.
It's gotta be high up, everyone push a T-splosh.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do, let's go ahead and do
Yeah,
roads.
I think so too.
But then to do roads, you gotta have some personnel, so it's, you know.
Right, yeah.
We all gonna be on the.
So we're ready to drive.
That's right. I mean,
So we think that we've got enough people within the current program budget to hire enough that we could get started on. The conversation with personnel is gonna be on long-term planning for pay scale and looking rather than just this one season that we're gonna need.
It is, we go into this gravel, I would say, let's hire some folks to help us. That gravel as well. I mean, we really don't have enough staff, even with the new dump truck to maybe get all this done. But let's have someone else come and help us, and then we can do the motor grading and get it done. And so we'll be seeking, and I think.
And we can probably get plenty of help.
Yeah.
All the people I'm talking to that have trucks. Yeah. They're worried. It's coming to the halt. It's coming to a halt for weeks.
What we're trying to do is take some crushing road and dust the roads with it, just to kind of get better, or it's not so muddy.
Put gravel on the road. Not dust. I'm tired of them calling, go, y'all salt and pepper it and go down one time and you don't even see it no more. So
You don't see the gravel, but if you put the crushed rubber, put it on deep enough, it will crust over and hopefully run the water off into the ditch. But we'll look at the combination of it, which ain't what we do. But crushed rubber's a little bit cheaper too.
Off the road,
It will, it's got even heavy.
road meet, right?
But there's the roads in Coweta, with if you guys have a chance to like it, and we got a very well road that runs into it. And I'd like you all to see the perfect road that's there, and we come into ours to get ones.
Oh, I
Very well the road.
I video taking the guy with the road the other day. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get all that together.
So one more thing, when you mentioned the personnel part, I agree with what you're saying, but I like to take a look at our effectiveness of recruiting for the open positions we have. I'm
Yes, sir.
the budget, we got enough positions.
Sure.
How are we performing and actively getting people to fill the positions we do have funds for? I think that's just as critical as do we have the funds in the budget set up?
Yes, sir.
That's the statement that keeps coming out is if we got money to do roads, but then we don't have that, then well, then
Right.
we gotta attack each one of those. Right? So,
And teaching of those employees too is what we report.
yeah. So how are we moving towards that goal of filling our head count for our budget purposes? Yeah. I think that needs to be part of the discussion.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, that's what this paper delivery chart, give you guys a copy of, that's kind of start with.
Any other questions? Anything else from the administrator?
Yes, sir. We had a department head meeting, week before last, talked about employee training and incentives, retention, also incorporating some haulers into our repertoire with getting out the rocks. Continue to have remediation and restoration, reconstruction meetings for courthouse, the Greenville Public Health Building. We have conducted some interviews this week. Administration, Public Works has had several. Public Safety has had some. Talking to UGA Extension about a wildlife viewing grant. I'm going to peg Ashley's interest and see if there's something we can do together there. Continue to work on public works data. Hopefully by the time we have the road conversation, we can give you not only the number of tickets per road, but what kind of ticket. Was it motor grading? Was it ditching? Was it trees? Was it signs? To help give us a little bit more information on what calls we've got and what work has been done and needs to be done. Several of us are going to ACCG training tomorrow up in Noonan for several topics. We're working with the engineers for the fuel tanks in Manchester. We also have a meeting this week about the McLaughlin Road Park up here. And then we have also been working on training material, specifically for Public Works. We have sent a couple of manuals over there, just basically just training and education, showing them templates, steps of how to do things, and just making it available before
we could start rolling out an actual official training program.
Commissioner, any questions? Hearing none, report from the county attorney.
I have no report. Do understand we have need for executive session for litigation and personnel
Real estate.
and real estate.
Did I forget it?
You did.
We talked enough. All right, so report from county commissioners, Mr. Worthing.
I don't have anything else than what I've already, I used it up on everything else, other than there's been some good work on some things, some calls and some good feedback and some quick responses to the calls that we had here recently. So thank you. Keep up the good work.
Mr. Vice Chair.
I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving with their family, and appreciate what the county public work guys are doing. Got a call complaining about a pipe last week, and the guy called me back morning, I guess. It was last week, so they must have done it yesterday, but said, man, that pipe, they got all cleaned out, it's great. So they are getting out there and getting the job done. And if anybody, I like to do something every year for Christmas. I wish I could do the whole county, I can't, but if somebody knows of a special family that really needs some help on something, or a single parent with a couple little kids and so forth, they would reach out to me. I would like to try to make their Christmas special. And like I said, I can't pick hundreds, I wish I could. If I won the lottery, I would. But I always like to try to do something for somebody that's in need. And so,
Plenty of that. Thank you very much.
Other than that, good.
And I apologize to everybody for being late, those that are here and those that are on the Pam or whatever it is. I'm a little tired. Sorry, but that's at 4:30 this morning. But
we're having fun for you guys.
I know. I tried to watch it, just didn't have any connection. But that's all I have, Commissioner Slim.
I was just going to thank Allison and Beverly for the hard work that they put in to help get the courthouse decorated with the Christmas trees. And we do have need for some of the municipalities to decorate trees, but the ones that are decorated are very pretty. So I would encourage everyone.
Cities don't have it.
Well, I can tell you the ones that have.
Manchester.
Not yet.
Angie, I see you all at the rec department. Why don't you come up and decorate that tree?
Maybe call that here, but there it does make it very festive and all. So that being said, that's it for me.
And I do want to say too, because I forgot, I'm very glad that it is to the point where we're going to get Beulah Evans paid.
Amen.
Commissioner Collins.
I just want to thank the county employees for the job they're doing, and thank the citizens for bearing with us while we get the issues worked out. And that's all I have.
All right. So our future meetings and notices, December 13, 2023 will be our regular 9 a.m. meeting. The offices will be closed in recognition of Christmas holiday, December 22nd on Friday, as well as December 25th on Monday. We will have our December 26, 2023 regular scheduled meeting at 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of litigation, personnel, and real estate? Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We're in executive session for litigation, personnel, and real estate.